Thursday, December 22nd. A reading from Luke chapter 10, the parable of the Good Samaritan. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself." "You've answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. 'Look after him,' he said, 'and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have.' Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?" The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." For reflection, unprepared. Christmas is fast approaching, and the time to prepare for this coming holy season is rapidly dwindling down. Are you ready? Will you be ready? What needs to be done? Where is your emphasis, physical or spiritual? What happens if you are unprepared when Christmas arrives? Are there consequences for not having everything planned and carried out? It can be nerve-wracking. To catch our breath in this now stressful time, it's good to put things in perspective. Let's take a look at what the Samaritan was probably doing just prior to his appearance in the lesson for today. It is highly unlikely that he woke up that morning thinking, "I plan on using my time, energy, and money to ease the pain and suffering of a complete stranger today, perhaps even saving his life." In essence, he was unprepared for what he was to encounter on the road to Jericho. Or was he? Seeing the man on the side of the road, the Samaritan took pity on him and had compassion. He treated his wounds and bandaged him, freely giving of his own resources of oil and wine, then transporting the victim on his donkey to an inn where he provided further care as he gave freely of his time and energy. Realizing that he had to leave before the recovery could be complete, he gave money to the innkeeper for further care, and did so with the promise of covering any further expenses when he returned. The Samaritan did not plan on helping the man on the side of the road, but he spent his life preparing to be ready to have compassion and give of himself to someone in need. How about you? What are you preparing for?